Real talk, you can't f with Chopper Young City. I done lived the life. I done got shot and went to prison. Robbed niggas and got robbed. 26 is on my car.
Swerving on the highway, I can do that. Word of mouth, I lock it down from here to Zimbabwe.
Lamborghini in my garage, I'm independent, so f y'all. Real what you bout? I got a troll click and we run the sauce with the deal pimp and I'm the wrong nigga you wanna deal with.
If you don't know, I go by the name of Chopper. I'm the hottest, so get it through your medulla. I'm a god.
Kevin Barnes, aka Chopper, aka Young City, born January 12, 1985. Today's feature has been in the YouTube news a lot recently, leading myself to ask the question, whatever happened to him becoming New Orleans' next Lil Wayne? Since that's what he was built as back in the early 2000s. Believe it or not, there was a time when Chopper, better known as Young City, looked like he was next. Not next to go viral, not next to get a few moments off clout, next to run hip-hop. His entry into the game wasn't through local mixtapes or a viral freestyle. It was on national television, front and center, as part of Diddy's televised experiment making the band too. By the time viewers met him, he was already a made-for-TV character, aggressive, emotional, unpredictable, and undeniably charismatic. But he wasn't just TV. Chopper could really rap with a fast-paced New Orleans drawl, street edge, and battle-tested confidence that made him stand out from the rest of the group. The concept of a reality show-formed rap group was already risky, but in the band, Chopper felt like the wild card who just might make it work. Sean Combs noticed it too, often placing him in leadership roles or testing his patience like an artist being groomed for more. Behind the scenes, there was buzz that Chopper could spun off as a solo act. He had the energy, the look, and the narrative, a product of New Orleans' Magnolia Projects, who now had the machine behind him. But that machine came with cameras, contracts, and control. And as soon as the lights dimmed on the show, so did Chopper's rise. His solo run never materialized the way fans or even Diddy imagined. While his peers either moved on quietly or pivoted, Chopper's descent played out in the open. Arrests, label issues, failed attempts to restart his career, and the type of online presence that slowly turned him into a parody rather than a prospect. Recently, he's reappeared in the algorithm not because of a comeback, but due to controversy surrounding fake management scams and clips of him exposing industry secrets. What happened to Chopper? Why didn't this rapper with major label backing, national exposure, and undeniable charisma make it past the launch pad? In the early 2000s, he was handed an opportunity most rappers would kill for. But success in the industry has never just been about talent or even exposure. It's about focus, timing, and knowing when to turn the cameras off. What happened? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Kevin Barnes, better known as Chopper or Young City, was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and came up in the notorious Magnolia Projects, the same streets that bred Juvenile and Soulja Slim. With a rough upbringing and sharp tongue, he found early comfort in rapping, developing a flow heavily influenced by his region, but charged with the urgency of someone trying to escape it. His big break didn't come from a mixtape or indie deal, but a televised audition that landed him a spot on Making the Band 2, led by none other than Sean Diddy Combs. At just 18, he was thrown into the chaos of reality television, eventually becoming a centerpiece in the rap group The Band. The group's debut album went gold, but behind the scenes, Diddy saw solo star potential in Chopper. What followed was a contract under Bad Boy South and the promise of a solo career that never truly arrived. Stunt number 1, the reality show curse. Chopper's story began in front of millions. That was both a blessing and his downfall. Reality TV came with fame, but not the foundation. While Making the Band 2 launched him into households across the country, it also boxed him into a character he couldn't shake. He wasn't seen as a serious artist, he was the wild one, the emotional one, the fight starter. Viewers tuned in for chaos, not craft. And when the camera stopped rolling, that perception followed him. The reality TV system doesn't develop artists, it amplifies them. It gives them exposure but not direction. And Chopper was 18, fresh out the streets of New Orleans, thrown into a machine ran by one of the most demanding moguls in music history. There were no seasoned managers guiding him, no team ensuring he'd evolve beyond the show. Just a contract, expectations, and a public that already thought they knew who he was. Even when the band disbanded and Diddy offered him a solo opportunity under Bad Boy South, Choppa was still fighting the reality TV label. Every time he tried to release music, it was weighed against the drama people remembered, not the talent. Worse, his brand was tangled in Diddy's vision. Any creative misalignment meant delays, tension, or shelving altogether. He wasn't equipped for the politics, and the industry wasn't patient enough to let him grow in real time. His first major single, Lil Daddy, never got the push it needed, and his debut solo album quietly disappeared before it even arrived. By the time social media began reshaping music discovery, Choppa was already a decade removed from his moment and unfortunately remembered more for TV antics than track records. Stunt number 2, legal issues and industry bridges burned. If reality TV boxed Choppa in, legal troubles locked the lid. After Making the Band 2 ended and his solo dreams under Bad Boy South quietly fizzled, Choppa's life outside the booth began overshadowing anything he tried to do musically. He was arrested multiple times throughout the 2000s and 2010s for a range of offenses, assault, robbery, and weapons charges among them. Each one chipped away at whatever credibility he had left in an industry that already questioned if he could transition from TV talent to full-time artist. The music world may market street stories, but it rarely embraces the chaos that comes with them, especially when the artist doesn't have a proven catalog to balance it out, and Choppa didn't. His name began to ring out more in police records than playlists, and as those headlines stacked up, so did the burned bridges. Labels backed away, collaborators grew silent, Diddy had already moved on, Choppa was left to float, or worse, flail publicly without a safety net. Even after those prime years had passed, he struggled to rebrand or find stability. Interviews often turned combative, Instagram lives became unpredictable, and more recently he reappeared in the algorithm amid controversy, involving alleged management scams and industry rants that further complicated his already fragile reputation, even if the details weren't always clear or confirmed. Instead of rebranding quietly, he leaned into the chaos, which only made it harder for fans or execs to take his next chapter seriously. For Choppa, the streets that raised him never loosened their grip, and the business that gave him a shot didn't have time to wait for him to grow into it. A blend of personal mistakes, professional missteps, and a refusal or inability to adapt left him stuck in a dangerous middle ground, too known to start over, but not known for the right reasons to move forward. Stunt number 3, a career that never adapted. The early 2000s rap scene that birthed Choppa was built on regional identity, street validation, and physical presence. You had to be seen to be heard. Choppa thrived in that climate. He had the image, the aggression, and the southern edge that made him stand out on stage or in a cypher. But by the time the mid-2010s rolled around, the rules had changed. Artists were breaking online. Marketing was digital, virality mattered more than cosigns, and for all Choppa's presence, he never learned how to evolve within the new ecosystem. Instead of adjusting to the internet era, he stuck with outdated methods, dropping mixtapes with little reach, relying on name recognition from a decade prior, or trying to reignite his image with controversy rather than craft. He didn't tap into the do-it-yourself hustle that revised so many careers from his generation, and that lack of evolution turned time into an enemy. While other artists from Making the Band pivoted, Choppa seemed stuck in a loop, the same emotional volatility that made him great for TV but poor for longevity. There was no reinvention, no new era rollout, no acknowledgement that the game had passed him by. At some point, legacy has to be managed. When the music isn't hitting, the story has to carry you. But Choppa's story had no resolution, just fragments of potential never realized, headlines that outlived his records, and social media moments that diluted what little mystique he had left. By refusing to grow with the times or recalibrate his role in the industry, Choppa became a relic of a moment that aged out before he did, and without a foundation to stand on, his name became less about promise and more about what he had to expose. All in all, Choppa had every ingredient to become a star: exposure, cosigns, raw talent, and a story the industry could have rallied around. But the spotlight came too early, the structure around him was weak, and when it was time to mature as an artist and businessman, he was already buried under the weight of bad decisions and a brand he couldn't escape. Now he exists as a reminder of how quick this game will use you up and discard you if you don't adapt. A product of opportunity without guidance, potential without patience, and promise without a plan to protect it. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC StuntedGrowthMusic, and I'm out.